Hello folks, Dr. Nels here with our last, fourth and final segment on creating culture and core values. And this is just a glimpse into a talk I give actually on this full discussion, and I walk teams of people through actually developing them in the talk. But so for this fourth aspect of this vlog series, once you have some values and you're pretty confident in them, the team agrees to them, then you need full indoctrination. Full indoctrination of those core values so that everybody knows what they are. Now again, everybody has to agree on them, because once you do that, these are non-negotiable. These are non-negotiable core values that we're all agreeing to, we're all going to behave by, because if somebody can't behave by them, they got to go. I'm going to repeat that. If someone can't live and abide by those values, they've got to go. It's that important, because if you set up a set of core values and someone's not behaving accordingly to them and you let them stay on the team, that means your core values are a lie. And for us here, we are that serious about it. We do and have let people go when they are not behaving by our set of core values. We believe in them so much, if you walk in the doors here, you see them mounted on the wall. In other businesses I'm part of, same thing. You'll see them mounted on the wall, and we're serious about them. It's what we do, and there's this cultural indoctrination. Followed by that, we communicate them, we act them, we praise them. If someone does something good in carrying out a value system, we may hand them, a $100 bill. If they don't, we're going to talk about it very quickly, but everybody understands these are non-negotiable. Now, obviously, please don't do this and you put them in place right away and you start hammering things home. This is a process. This is a journey. In terms of full indoctrination and making sure everybody knows these are non-negotiable, this is a 6+ month time span. People ask me, how long does this take? Well, I would tell you it's 10 years. 10 years from developing your core values into full indoctrination, where an entire team of people is executing those every single day. It's that long. So you can't just barge into it and turn over a bunch of leaves, because you might turn over some apple carts you wish you wouldn't have. It's a process. Your leaders, you got to work through it with the entire team over time before you get to the point of hanging them on the wall and making them, all right, everyone, we're behaving by these. They're non-negotiable. And if you don't behave by them, you've got to go. Now that might seem harsh, but we have a high standard for excellence. We don't accept mediocrity, and that high standard for excellence causes us to behave in certain ways so that we can achieve excellence. If we're not all behaving and acting out our core values, we're not going to set the standard. We're not going to achieve high levels of excellence, and that's not what I'm here for. I think most of you watching this are you're go-getters, you're intrigued by this stuff, you like it. You have a high standard of excellence for yourself, for those around you. And what you need to understand is when culture and strategy are aligned, organizations achieve goals, amplify successes, and have greater impact. Which, isn't that what we want to do? Most of us want to be a part of some very purposeful, doing great things. You want to have an impact. You want to have an impact on those around you, on the team, the organization, your family, the community, your church. We want to have some impact. And it takes some concerted leadership effort to do these things. You have to be intentional. You have to over-communicate these things. You have to have some clarity and keep moving forward, and then you over-communicate them, and you create some more clarity, and you keep moving forward. So for us, these are the rules of the road. And what we do is we've established these in such a manner that they're non-negotiable. It's how we hire, it's how we fire, it's how we operate. I mean, my partner and I here at this business, we have an operating agreement that we operate by, but as many as you know, if you're watching this, if you ever had to pull out an operating agreement, it's probably a bad day. if you're pulling out your operating agreement and having to review it at some point in the journey of a business, you're doing that because things aren't going well. But if you have a set of core values, we live by those every single day. They're your rules of the road. They become how you make decisions. And even for us, like in this setting, if we have a disagreement, if our leadership team has a disagreement, we pull out our core values and we answer the question based on the core values. Does that make sense? So if we have a disagreement, which I don't know about you all, whether it's in your family, in a business, in a church, your team, your school, whatever it might be, how often are disagreements occurring? Quite often. Most oftentimes we can resolve the disagreements without going to the core values. But when things get tough, really, really tough, and you can't, one person has their thought, another one has theirs, and you can't come up with a decision, then for us, we go to our core values. All right? This is the issue. Where do we stand? And this is what our core values tell us. There are operating principles. There are everyday written operating agreement. So we don't have to have things get so bad that we're now pulling out an operating agreement looking at how do we dissolve this? How do we dissolve the business? How do we dissolve the church? How do we dissolve the community? How do we dissolve a marriage? It's all the same. To me, it's all the same. All these things, all these principles, business, whatever, personal lives, it all intermingles. It's all the same. If we have a set of core values, that is our daily operating agreement. There are rules of the road. This is so powerful. This stuff is so powerful. Just give it some strong consideration to talking about it within your organization, within your own team, within the organization. Even if you're a team within an organization, that say that the main organization has no core values, but you're a sub-team within it, that team can create their own set of core values. You don't have to have them from high above. You can set your own, create your own. You can do the same thing with your family, as we said earlier. Whatever it might be, you can work on it. You can plant some seeds if you're not the decision maker. Hey, what do you think about looking at our core values or establishing, some culture and core values? You can plant seeds any day of the week within your teams. So give this stuff some thought. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got questions on this stuff, core values, culture, you need some help, need some input, I'm glad to help anytime. Reach out to us. If you like this, click subscribe here, make your comments below. We'll reach back to you, whatever you like. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Cheers, amigos. We'll see you again.